All right, here's Andy Wallman.
Hello, and thanks for having me. Brian had asked if I'd talk about Goodstock, a program that we have at Knupp & Watson and Wallman. We're a 25-year-old advertising agency here in Madison. Also, thanks to Greg. That took courage to do that. Good job. My dad was 19 when he lied his way into becoming a member of the U.S. Army. And he was a point man, and he was one of three guys in front of about 30, 40 guys who would go snoop around in German towns. Their life expectancy was 20 minutes in combat, and he did it for 31 days. He wound up writing about his experiences. He said grenades exploded one right after the other. Men screamed to high heaven as they were hit and dying. Every time it was bright enough to see the outside, you couldn't spot a single kraut. They really had us cold turkey. Sergeant Funk was to record later that no one could live above the cellars in that way in heavy fire. Willie and I and the few other non-wounded in the house did. A couple of weeks later, his mother received this. The Secretary of War desires me to express his deep regret that your son, Private First Class Charles J. Wallman, has been reported missing in action since 18 January. So he got captured in Herlesheim, France in January. And he wound up serving in 3 different concentration camps. And despite being in combat, killing, watching guys be killed, friendly fire before it was a term, he said his experiences in the concentration camps were far more difficult than being in battle and being in combat. When I was a kid in Weeblos and at St. Bernard's Church, he went on the speaking circuit talking about his experiences. And by staring death in the eye, he put a great value on life and ended his speeches with this: help the other guy because someday you might be the other guy, and give back to the community. You don't know how much your community does for you. Whether you like it or not or know it or not, your community does a lot for you. And that sort of rolled around in me for a long time, and I got into this ad agency, and we decided to create a program called Goodstock to give back to the nonprofits in our community in our small, little, tiny little way. So in 2004, we started sending out to the 350-some nonprofits in Dane County an RFP. Normally we get them. This time we sent them out. We'd get 40, 50 RFPs back, and we'd pick between 10 and 20 nonprofits to do work for. We did it 6 times over the last 7 years, and these are the folks that we did stuff for. I get the sense some of you are in nonprofits or are connected to them or have helped them. So it would come to no surprise to you to know that that type of environment is strapped for cash, time, and expertise. And we felt if we could provide free advertising and marketing, we would let their dollars, their difficultly saved dollars, go to other important things. So we would start on Thursday at 12, go around the clock with about 25 to 30 of us at the company and some extra friendlies till Friday at 12. And make things that our nonprofit, these clients would want. We didn't make them stuff that they felt they didn't need. And see, these are some of the things that we would do. You talk about a bonding experience with the cans, which was great. This is another type of bonding experience. When you go through something crazy together as a team, it makes you better when you're done. And I don't know if every single thing that we created over the years was perfectly used, but I know a lot of the pieces went to great use. We've helped 90 nonprofits, donated over 4,000 hours. With the gives that we've gotten to run TV commercials with free airtime, free billboard space, free newspaper space, it's been over $1.8 million that our little company has given back to nonprofits in Dane County. We decided to try to push this idea. What else could we do with this Goodstock thing? A lot of people knew more about Goodstock than our ad agency. So we put a lot of this stuff on the internet, goodstock24.org, and lo and behold, because that internet's a crazy thing that anybody can stumble upon your site, we started getting some other agencies asking about it. So on the far right, you see there an agency in Charlotte and a Canadian agency with offices in Vancouver and Toronto are going to be in their 3rd year this year of doing Goodstock in their communities. We put together a turnkey packet to teach them how to do it. We opened up our point person, Ellen, said call Ellen anytime. And so we're proud that other agencies have done it. This year, we thought, let's try to take this on the road. Outdoor Retailer is a big trade show for the outdoor category, Patagonia, North Face, stuff like that. We were just there in Salt Lake. Jen and a friend of the agency were talking to those types of companies about going to their winter trade show in Portland to do work for nonprofits that'd be sponsored by companies this January 2012. The idea is for a sponsor company to choose a nonprofit that they want helped, We would do work for that nonprofit so that that nonprofit could focus on their missions of making the world a better place. Who knows where that will go? Time will tell over the next few months. Also, this is our 25th year as a company, so we wanted to do something with Goodstock this year. We're not going to send out the RFP. We've started already tapping nonprofits on the shoulder and doing work for nonprofits that we want to help, that we're selectively grabbing just for 2011. So in the weekend of October 14th, 15th, we're going to reveal a ton of stuff that we've been doing over the summer and early fall to go ta-da for some things that we've liked about Madison that we think are great and need to keep that support up, and some things that we think are broken or screwed up or wrong and need fixing, and we want to help those things as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that weekend of October 14th to see what happens with Goodstock 2011. So how can you do good? You already heard from Greg and the gentleman before him about the types of things that you can do, but I go back to my dad's simple things. Help the other guy because someday that could be you, and give back to your community because your community does so much for you. Wait for it, Bob. Hold it. You shouldn't have to look death in the face to realize those lessons. He went through hell. And you merely had to sit through this. So it should be easy for you to think of little ways, big ways that you, your friends, your neighborhood, your company can try to help the other guy or give back to your community. If you have ideas, thoughts, questions on this Goodstock 2011 stuff or Goodstock in general or any ideas about anything, I'd be more than happy to you, Jen. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about any of these things. But please take away from this today, from all these great talks, the ability you have to get out there and do good. Thanks.